that. I don't like that you ward, but, you know, it's not too bad. You're just going to have to play extra safe.
Oh, yeah, that ward right there. It's because they were being aggressive at the very beginning. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to let my jungler know if they were going to show up.
So,
Oh,
one thing I'd say is you win the level 1, right?
Okay.
Because you can auto, Q auto, you can just Q auto, and you get a shield, so you win that fight because he'll just take more damage because you get the shield and empowered auto. So my question is, why are you playing so far back? And right now, I think it's fine for you to be playing back, right? Because you have to farm these minions. So I think it's fine right now. But
I don't remember what I do. I do think I get aggressive, but I don't know if I get aggressive enough.
Because right here, because you have a better level 1, we've decided, because Malzahar doesn't have good early game until he gets Lost Chapter at the very least. Viktor is pretty good level 1 and against almost every champ except maybe ADC's mid and I'd say maybe Orianna because of her passive. You win the level 1 if it's just auto attacks because you get your...
Right, you get my empower.
You get your empower Q and you get the shield.
And yeah.
You know? So you can be stepping up here. And because you have a better early game, generally you're going to get prio level 1. You get to push the wave, right? But you're letting him attack here for free, and you're letting him get the CS, and if he's going to be doing that, you have Q up, you should just throw a Q at him.
Just walk up and hit him, yeah.
You know, this is a little bit exaggerated, but notice how you did it earlier, but now you're walking away. You're letting him hit the wave more than you, and you're stepping so far back.
So I should stay stepped up there.
You definitely could. You know, I would say step up a little bit up this way, just because they're jungler, I think we saw over here. But I don't know, maybe it's the other side.
So the reason I step back there is because I don't have spells. Oh wow, I missed that. Oh, I missed both of those.
He doesn't either though, right?
Do what, sorry?
He doesn't either though, right?
What, spells?
Yeah.
So the reason I'm not stepping up is I don't have spells. I don't have abilities. I'm therefore at a disadvantage.
Okay, actually he does have his spells, but notice how let's go back and watch it again. So you Q him, and look how many autos he gets off on the wave, right? So you get 0.
He gets a few. He gets a few.
1, so that's 1 for him. 2 for him.
I should have just stepped up there.
Your Q is coming back up. You still haven't autoed. 3 for him before you even get 1 auto. When we've already dictated that you're going to get prio, you're going to win the trades. You don't need to wait till your Q's back up to step up. You can start walking up when it's a second left. You're not gonna, you don't want to force it until your Q's back up, but you know, you can, this is when you're strongest in the lane versus Malz.
So is that the reason why I should be looking to take prio? Because I'm stronger than him?
Yeah. You know, if he has a Shaco jungle or something, maybe you want to play a little bit safer and give him prio just because you don't want to get ganked. Or a Nunu, something that's just going to gank you. Zinzao. You know, and notice how you used your Q earlier, so now he's walking up. But instead of... He wasted his time. Now you should be walking up a little bit more on him. You also know that your Shaco's going for a fight, so you want to be hovering bot side. You know, this is going into a lot, but...
Yeah.
You know,
it's definitely gonna be a lot to take. But I've never done anything like this before.
I don't want to go too in depth about your micro and everything, but I'm just
this should be an auto. I don't know if I do it, but I think it should be an auto.
Yeah. What you want to do is wait half a second and then go for it, or you can keep auto and you want to keep walking him down because your Q's coming up now. You have Corrupting Potion, he has Doran, so you have more sustain. Right? You have a Shaco, so he has a Karthus. So your jungler can easily gank and kill him. You're never going to get ganked unless you play it really, really bad. So your Q's coming up, and now that you're getting your abilities up, you're walking away. He hit you with his E. you could have shielded most of that damage and gotten more on him, right? And look, he has 3, you have 2, so you're letting him get prio. Obviously, I wouldn't be focusing on the whole prio thing, because that's just something that'll come a little bit later, but focus on why are you walking away when your ability's coming up? You know, if their jungler was Shaco and you saw them here coming, potentially ganking, yeah, you kind of just have to walk away. But you could have auto'd.
Definitely.
Right? You're also not looking at what's going on with the jungler, but that's not a big deal. You know, and
well,
here...
it's because it was level 1 and I was just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just more focused on what was in front of me, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I like how you did go for that auto at the end there, because, again, it's your empowered auto versus his regular auto.
Right, yeah, that's exactly why I took it. I'm gonna get more damage.
You'll take 5%, but he'll take 10%, so it's a net win.
Right.
You know, he does hit you with Airy, and you don't hit him with Airy, but it's whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
I also want to be thinking about your E usage. I don't like that, because you need to hit him with your E. Okay. If you ever miss an E, that's a lot of problems, because it costs a lot of mana, right?
Right.
And again, you're using your Q to farm. That gives him a 7-second window to play a little safer.
Yeah.
I think that E, again, you got a little lucky. He dodged into it. Because if he just walked back, he...
Yeah, no, that was definitely a snipe shot. That was definitely...
Yeah, I think that was a little...
one I was going for distance.
Yeah. But... Jungle gap. And again, I'd recommend, instead of just trying to max range E snipe him,
get a little closer.
He's gonna start... You want to go for these creeps, right? And then when he goes up for creeps, I'd recommend, instead of just going for E on him, what if you wait till your creeps are low, you walk up here when your creep is low, and then you force a trade. So he goes for the creep, but you get a lot of damage back, and he either misses the creep to go for a trade with you, or you take no damage because he got the creep. Right? So you can get him down to here, because you can Q auto E instead of just E for max range.
Right.
Because it's a lot of it's about threat assessment. If you do this, what counterplay can he do back at you? If this is a Zed, it might be a little different, or a Kiana, or a Syndra, it'd be a bit different, right? Or if he had the Shaco jungle, it'd be a little bit different, because you could get ganked from it, right?
So I'm walking on him to make him make the choice, right?
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's conceptually simple enough to understand. Much harder to apply.
Yeah. So right here, he's going to go for this creep. You know he's going to want to go for this creep.
Yep.
Can you step up and pressure him? Potentially.
Can I?
You potentially could. I don't know how fast this minion's going to die versus his cannon, because you want to get cannon. But you might not actually step up and pressure him when he's doing it, because your abilities are also on cooldown. But why not walk up a little bit and pressure him, make him think about it? Well, why is he stepping up? Is he going to look to pressure me, you know? Because look, he misses the creep, that's a little lucky. So generally what you want to do is you want to step up when you don't have anything to farm, when the creeps are all full health, and then walk back a little bit, just a little bit, when their creep is low, so you can last hit it. And then when there's nothing for you to last hit, you pressure them. This is obviously in lanes where you are stronger early, or you have a slight advantage, right? If you're playing a champ where you lose the 1v1 or you lose the trade, you're not going to go for that. But we've kind of already talked that you have a shield, you have more damage and outrange him, and you have better auto attacks. So you're going to win those fights.
So it seems kind of like my issue is, or I say issue, but what I can improve on is when to be aggressive, when recognizing when I'm strong.
So what I'm saying is, once you get this creep, then you have a little window to play it aggressive, right? So you can be aggressive. I'm not saying go up and force and just auto him brainlessly, right? I'm saying walk up and see if you have the opportunity. If he oversteps, then you go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he'll just walk back and he's seated pressure. Because this is just about pressuring him. You're not actually doing anything, but walking up pressures him.
Uh-huh.
So what happens is, after you kill this creep, you can walk up, and if he walks up to go for cannon, you can then go for a QE on him or just auto him.
I
right?
get to mess with them.
But so that's what I'm saying is you walk up and let's see what you do. And look at it from Malzahar's perspective. Right?
Okay.
The enemy, you get the cannon.
Yep.
And then walk away. Right? And Mal sees this. He's, actually I'm not going to give him that much credit. He's not thinking about that. He just sees cannon. Right?
Yeah.
So there's two things here. One.
So, okay.
Yeah.
If I had walked up to him,
mm-hmm.
do you think he still cast his little creep thing?
Yeah. Because right here, he's not good enough to not do it. He's not good enough not to do it. He's doing it because he sees cannon and wants to do it.
So here's the thing: if I go up and I try to attack him, aren't I just gonna get the aggro from his little creep and take a fuck ton of damage? Because that thing hurts.
Yes, but
I guess with spells coming off cooldown,
your spells are coming up. You can easily just. He's using his E on the minion. That is a lot of his damage. He's gonna go to auto this. So if you're here, his creeps are going towards here. If you go here, you Q auto E here, and then just walk away. He takes a lot of damage. Well, think about it in two scenarios. There's definitely more options, but one, he takes damage, right?
Right.
That's the very obvious one that you're thinking. Oh, you step up and pressure him, but he decides he wants the cannon. He's going to trade that much of his health for the cannon minion, right?
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's because that's realistically that's how much your QE auto does. Probably 200 damage at least, right? And option two. He gives the pressure of the CS. A lot of players, especially in lower elos, these are the two things that are going to happen. He's not paying attention to you, so when your minion gets low, he just goes to attack it, and then you can get a huge trade on him and get a lot of damage on him, especially for cannon minions. And the other option is he'll be like, "Why is this guy walking up on me?" Oh, they just feel pressured, and they'll just walk away. And then that means he gives the cannon and he doesn't get it, right?
Right.
And both of these are great outcomes. There's other outcomes in that he just decides to go for a trade on you instead.
Yeah.
But in that case, we've already determined you take 200 health, he takes 300. That's a winning trade. Plus, that means he's going to be at 30% health, you'll be at 80, right? So that's also good.
Yeah,
We've determined that you win these trades anyway. That also means he misses cannon. So it's worth taking a slightly bad trade to make him miss cannon anyway, right? Because he loses 75 gold. There's a lot more outcomes, but instead of that, what do? Walk away and give it to him for free.
Right.
And now he has push. If you walked up and pressured him, you would have push on him, which means you can poke him a little more easily.
And I'm okay with having push because Karthus isn't... First off, he's weaker than me. Second off, Karthus is not a heavy ganker.
Yeah, he's not going to gank you.
Okay.
So like that, that is a very, very good example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know the combo.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the combo. I'm talking about his minions are full HP. Yours are low. He wants to go for your creeps, and he's going to go for these. So why not just walk up, and while he goes for the creeps, you take a trade on him? This is exactly what I'm saying. He's going for the creeps, so he's going to go for this creep when it gets low. So you just walk up, Q, auto E him, and he gets the creep. and he actually misses it.
Yeah.
You end up missing one of the creeps, but it's
I targeted the one on the outside. I should have targeted the one on the inside.
But that's what I mean by pressure. Notice how look how bad he must feel. Like, oh wow, I took a lot of damage from that.
Yeah.
You know. And now you're a little low on mana. You've used a lot of mana to last hit, so yeah, you're using a lot of mana to last hit there.
Okay, I'll keep in mind to use less mana to last hit.
You know, try to just practice.
Well, particularly in this matchup, because I feel like, you know, if I'm up against a heavy pusher, oh wow, I can't believe this though. But if I'm up against someone who's like heavily pushing, then I feel like I need, you know, something to use mana to deal with that, you know.
Yeah. So like right here, you want to pressure him because he's going to go for a creep because yours is low, but his is also getting low, so you probably can't go for a trade because you only want to
go for an E trade, maybe.
Yeah, but it's not worth it because that's an E trade right now. It's only 80 mana, but that's 50% of your mana pool.
Yeah.
Is it worth using 50% of your mana pool just to land an E to do 0 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the moment it sounds good, but if you actually think about it, it's not. And this is the sort of thing you during the game you're not going to notice this, but watching it again, this goes back to why is this hard and why do I feel uncomfortable in this laning phase? You feel uncomfortable because you have very little mana, and that's why it's hard. And he's full mana. Well, why do I have low mana and why does it feel bad? Oh, because you're wasting your E on hitting minions and you're using your E to pop his shield when you only have enough mana for 2. You know, you're using your Q to miss a minion when you're out of mana. You know?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not quite that easy, but... And again, you use your E there to... Now you don't even have mana for another E. Obviously, you have Corrupting Potion, but...
That's not a whole lot, right?
And it looks like you played this kind of bad in terms of what you could be doing, but Shaco's going to bail you out here.
How come? Because I noticed the Shaco here, and I want him to walk up to me.
I mean, right in this second, I think he played it fine, but to get to this spot where you're out of mana, and he's full mana, he's burned through one of his health pots, and you're fine health wise. But I think in this spot, it should be the other way around. He's out of mana and low on health. You're half mana and decently healthy. But I think you played this fine to bait him. But he burns. He doesn't even burn flash.
He doesn't get the chance to. Yeah. Like, well, I guess he could have there.
He had to flash right as soon as he sees Shaco. He has to flash here.
Yeah.
He has time to flash right now and just go here.
Yeah.
And walk around the trap, and he probably dies anyway. But that was his only chance.
Yeah.
And okay. One thing I'm gonna say.
Should I leave this the way it is?
No. What you need to do is ping Shaco and have him push with you.
Okay. Well, my other thought process, if I may, is sometimes if they have creep advantage, if the wave has creep advantage coming into me, I just leave it as is because the wave's gonna push into me and it's gonna deny my opponent creeps because it has more. And by the time I get back to lane, it's gonna be closer to my tower.
Yeah, but you don't have creep advantage. It's equal. Shaco just put a box down.
Right.
So
I was just asking in a specific in a scenario.
You know, if he has 8 minions here, and you have 5,
Okay, so that is a good thing.
That's fine.
Okay.
You have teleport, and he has teleport. You're just gonna both have to reset and teleport right back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But at this point, you're out of mana. You're gonna have to use your biscuit to push it out, and you're gonna be stuck in a weird spot. And he can freeze and make you miss half a wave, even using your teleport, if he's smart, right?
He's not. But yes, you're right. I noticed that a lot. That there's a lot of times where I seemed.
Just right here. Sorry, continue. I'll play you later.
A lot of times there's probably an opportunity for my opponent to freeze, and they just don't take it.
Yeah, but. You know, think about it the other way. If you're still in that same elo, what opportunities are you missing that you're not seeing that they do?
Right.
Right here, you just need to reset immediately and just teleport back. Right.
Yeah, don't worry about the minions. Just
You don't need to care about that. You know, you're just wasting time and you're gonna miss more.
Right.
Okay. Just reset and TP. Yeah. You TP a little late, but it's fine. You could have done that without E-ing.
You think?
But, oh, definitely.
I guess you're right.
Because, okay, right here. I mean, this is kind of small.
You're right.
You can auto this one.
Yep.
Auto this one. Auto this one. This one you might miss if you don't E. But so it doesn't hurt to E.
You're
but,
definitely right.
But
I guess I would have spent the E anyways if I'm trying to get that.
So it doesn't hurt to do it. I didn't see that one there actually was so low, but
I don't even know if I hit it.
Yeah, you didn't get it, but it doesn't matter. But you know, that's small. That's just stuff you'll learn in So notice how at this point the game will feel like he's just trying to push into me and I'm trying to push into him. Right?
Yeah,
but
that's what it feels like.
His mana pool is going to get hurt a little bit worse than yours at this point, especially because you went Doran's plus Corrupting Potion. So you have a lot of good fights and you win the fight. So if you force a trade, you're going to win, and that means he actually, remember, if you force a trade, two things could happen. One,
pushes wave.
He pushes wave, but you get a lot of damage off on him, right? So if he does that once, that's fine for him. But what happens the next wave? Now he's at this much health. Then he'll try to do it again. Then he'll be at this much health, right? And you'll slowly whittle him down. And eventually he'll die or have to take a bad reset, right?
So when he spawned those little things, I should have just walked up to him?
I mean, yeah, you could. Obviously, you don't want to walk into his creeps. You probably want to walk away. Right. Obviously, I'm not factoring in junglers right now.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. Because I think it would be too much information.
Yeah, that's just too much. I'm just gonna completely ignore it because it's Karthus jungle. But I want to mention that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Right. And the second option is he trades,
which he theoretically loses.
Well,
I don't know.
If you play it correctly, I've played this matchup as both of them. You win. You win.
Okay.
You win this 100%.
Even with his spell shield.
Yeah. Ideally, you would use your E here, not to just. Maybe.
It's like I don't want to get shoved under tower. That was my thought process here.
Well, it's okay to get shoved under tower once, but you need to proc his spell shield before you can do this, right? Okay. So you use your E here to to proc that, right? And that's fine. And then the next wave, you can go for the trade.
Okay.
So I was probably wrong when I said to do this right now. I don't think you can do it right now. This wave, you have to give a little bit of pressure because you don't have the means to do it. But that gives but that means next wave you'll be set up to do this, right?
Right.
If that makes sense. So I apologize for saying how I did earlier, but
it's fine.
You go for an E.
Pop
and
shield.
This is the reason Viktor is really good into Malzahar, is because you can always pop his E. Or you can always pop his passive with your E because you outrange him so hard. That's also why like Xerath is good into Malzahar. You just outrange him and he can't do anything. Right? And so the two options here, we'll pretend that he doesn't have passive, but the two options are he just pushes the wave and you get to damage him. So he pushes the wave in, uses his mana for that, in exchange for 20-30% of his health. And then you'll farm under tower, right? And that's okay with you because that means for the next wave, if he does it again, he'll trade a lot of his health for it, or he'll trade back and you already win the trade.
Yeah.
You also have a ganking jungler, so it's advantageous for you to be here health-wise and him to be here because your Shaco will just come and kill him, right? And if they had a Shaco and you had the Karthus, maybe you want to stay a little bit healthier, right?
And so I wouldn't take
You're taking an equal trade to make it so your Shaco can come kill him.
Right.
Obviously, this isn't the only reason. This is also good for your 1v1 in this scenario, but sometimes you don't want to take trades because you don't want to be low for the enemy jungler. Because if they have a Talon jungle and you take trades, you could just easily die.
Yeah, you just hops the wall and then you die. And then that's that.
So you're better off just playing the 1v1 a little bit differently.
You would play much more defensive. You wouldn't take as many trades. You'd focus more on clearing the wave.
I do like that you're trading autos on the wave to prevent him from pushing. But see, imagine if you used your E earlier to pop his spell shield. It could have been a little bit better. You forced a trade.
Regardless.
Yeah. I wouldn't go for this fight. I think you're better off just trying to get 6. Again, you use your E for what?
Yeah.
You know, you're... In the moment, you just want to make sure you get the farm, but in review, it's very clear.
No, I definitely get nervous is what happens.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna fall behind on CS. But it's something I wrote down, and I'll make a point of not doing that as much and just trying to just last it without.
Again, this is going back to it. It's rather than thinking, oh, my E's only 80 mana at level 2.
It is 50% of my mana.
But when it's half of your mana pool. That's, I think, what, I like to think about it as a percentage of what I have currently.
Yeah. That's definitely a good way to think of it. I have 4 casts of this remaining. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually phrase this a little differently. Okay. So this is what I was saying earlier about you want to pressure the enemy when you aren't farming. So when you're not going for a creep, like right here, you're stepping really far back. Obviously, you don't have your E up, but let's pretend you do have your E up. We already talked about this a little bit, but
yeah,
you just want to go over it again because this is one of the most important things I found with people on like silver is you just gotta go for a trade when he's going for your creeps. You have nothing to do. So you can pressure him, assuming the enemy jungler's not here, because he's going to be he's focused on this. He's not going to be even noticing that you're walking up, probably, right? He's just like, ooh, that's 100
delicious gold. Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be noticing. So we go back to the thing where you just pressure him. You're not necessarily going to force this trade, but if you walk up and then you make the decision, you don't start walking here and decide, I'm going to throw an E and Q immediately. You walk up and then decide, do I have the ability to do it? Right? Rather than, it's a little bit of a different excuse, because that'll make it so that, because if you walk up and immediately say, I'm going to throw my E as soon as I hit here, right? Well, what happens if he walks back?
Right? Yeah.
And at that point, it's just a waste of your E. You get the same outcome whether or not you use your E. He misses these creeps, right?
Right.
And one other thing you should notice is that he has no teleport and he has no mana.
Bully him.
No matter what you do, you win the trade. As long as you don't die into it, right? And I say that because if you take 40% of your health for 10% of his, it doesn't matter because that means he had to use...
He has no mana.
Now he's out of mana. You can freeze the wave. You can push it in. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm not going to tell you which to do, but he can't push the next wave in because he's out of mana.
Right.
He has to call his jungler to come. He has to take a bad reset and miss waves, whatever it is. He's kind of screwed, right? Again, I probably would have waited to use my Q here. I like that you're going for it, but I probably would have just waited till I could also E him.
I see.
You know, because now you have to walk away because you're a little scared. Because you don't have more. If you wait till your E's up, then you can also hit him with an auto.
Right.
And again, you're using your mana to push. Push the wave, because you're giving him a lot of respect for no reason. If you were standing here, you can hit the minion and him with your E, right? And the reason I say you want to go for the trade while he's going for minions is notice how he stands still for like a quarter of a second when he goes to auto attack. So that means you're going to land your E as long as you aim it right.
Right.
You know? So right there, you could easily...
Yeah, full combo or whatever.
You could have E'd here and made sure you land your skill shot. Right? So I like that you freeze, but you probably didn't need to W there because that eats at your mana pool. Right? And you froze it and then you immediately broke the freeze.
Oh, did I? My bad.
Yeah. Like, you had a good idea and then you immediately broke it. So I like that you're pinging for Shaco because, see, this is the situation you were in earlier. He is out of mana.
He's out of mana and he has no flash.
He just used the last of his mana.
Wait, maybe he does have flash.
I don't know if he does or not, but I don't think so.
Does.
I think he does, but why are you here? Why are you this far back when he has 0 mana? He just uses mana on his W. What can he do if you walk up? Right?
Right.
So if you're just playing here, even if you do nothing different, you just auto this minion, he's going to feel a lot more pressured. Right? It's all about the pressure from his perspective. He feels like he's okay to push this wave out because you're standing way back here, but he doesn't feel that way if you're standing here, right? If you were in this position, you'd rather this outcome, right? Obviously, this isn't going to be something you just immediately learn. You're going to have to slowly start thinking about it, and I think the only way for you to actually get better is to watch your replay afterward and see. But you could probably come to this conclusion, like, he's out of mana. Why am I letting him push the wave in for free? You know,
be surprised how dumb I am.
Yeah, you know, we all make. Why did I use my E here? You know, I'm getting the wave in. I'm giving him a free reset. I let this crash. I could have just tanked it, right? Because you could have froze that, right? You just talked about how you always play against people who don't freeze it ever, but you could have frozen there.
So, what should I have done to freeze it? I apologize. I was writing stuff down.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's a baddie.
One, I would be standing here.
Right.
The reason is because A, we have ward here. My jungler's over here.
Yep.
I'm not worried. And his E is on the minions. So if you stand away from the minions, stand here, the E doesn't travel to you. So that's why I'd be standing over in this area.
Okay.
2, the minions will aggro to you after your minions die, so they, instead of walking under tower, they'll walk towards you. So the wave will freeze.
And then even if he tries to hurt me...
Yeah. You're pretty healthy.
Yeah.
You have all that.
Yep.
It's fine for you to take a bit of damage.
Let's say I hadn't used my E.
Yeah.
Because I'm smarter in this alternate reality.
Yeah. You'd have your E and you can go for a trade. You can just walk him down the lane. Right?
Right.
And then, even then, assuming you didn't even have corrupting potions, if those are out of the question, what you could do is you could just walk up here, force the trade, and then go for a reset yourself after the wave freezes. And then you could just match resets, but the wave is better for you because you know what I mean?
I see.
There's many different ways you can do it, but this is probably one of the worst outcomes because you just gave him a free reset.
Right.
At the very least, if you're going to let him push the wave in, you need to freeze it.
Right.
And you didn't do that. You know, it's fine, but that's just a missed opportunity.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, I need to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because otherwise, how else am I going to learn, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And if you're going to do this, you just need to push it. You could either push it in quickly, or you could slow push, and then immediately reset. And now, what are you doing here? You're wasting a lot of time.
Right now, I'm aware.
Is this gonna work bot? This is never gonna work bot. Is this gonna work top? No, your jungler's bot. You just reset.
Yeah.
And now
He's back with mana, and I got nothing.
The situation's completely switched. Yes, you have that, but you also have 900 gold. You could have gotten 2 amp tombs, right, and been a lot stronger. You know.
I didn't realize I'd made that mistake in this game.
Yeah. So you gave up a lot of pressure. And now, yes, their jungler's Karthus, but you have to give this pressure now because he has full mana and he has ult, and then Karthus will hit 2 Qs and ult you and you die.
Yep.
So now you have to give pressure.
Yep.
And now you're feeling pressured by him. And now you're using your mana to clear the minions for no reason.
You think?
I mean, you don't need to either. You know,
if I want to back faster though, right? Like, I don't know if I take it back here, but
you kind of can't because Malzahar will. You have to do it on a cannon wave against Malzahar or match resets because you'll miss a wave otherwise. And again, you use another E, another Q, and now you went from, let's see,
a state of advantage to
200 mana to 0. Assuming you already made this mistake and you're like, oh shoot, I made a mistake. You need to save your mana pool rather than use it on minions.
Okay, what should I do with that wave then? If
this
not,
one?
Yeah. If not, blow my spells on it so it doesn't crash.
Yeah, I mean, you just let it crash.
Really?
Because there's nothing you can do. Either you take this much damage to hold the freeze, plus if Malzahar's competent, he'll just force a trade on you and make it that much for you trying to hold the freeze, and then the wave crashes anyway. He's not going to be competent, but if he was...
Yeah, no, it's better to think about things in that regard.
And if you're going to break the rule, at least know that you're breaking the rule and getting away with something you shouldn't be.
Right.
Because now you're out of mana and the wave had basically crashed anyway. You know, you kind of have to play more to understand when you have to let the...
Yeah, but I guess...
Now you use your E. You could have used your Q on the minion there. And you used E and you missed it anyway. But if you're going to use it, use your Q if it's up. And now you're in a spot where you have to... Your jungler has to come and get you out of the wave. Stay.
Well, should. Let's see what happens.
Well, yeah. Because this is the scenario that Malzahar wants. He wants to be able to just push you in and not interact at all unless he's getting a gank and can just press R on you, right? He wants to push you in and make you farm under tower. What he doesn't want is for you to push him in. Then he farms under tower because then you can impact the map and then also poke him while he farms under tower.
And the whole reason I'm in this situation is because I didn't take a recall. I did something really weird. I didn't notice I had done that this game.
Yeah. And that also led to your Shaco dying.
Yep.
I don't really care too much about this. And notice how
I'm still in lane. Look how much money I have. Like, there's a lot of wasted potential going on there. I have to,
Yeah, now you have to farm under tower. Now you're scared.
Now I got my better E though. So wave clear gets.
But again, you're not trying to use your E here to proc his shield. You want to use the E to proc his shield and push the wave.
Okay, so here's why I'm not. Because in my past experience, trying to trade with this guy, and I know it's because I'm doing it wrong now. Trying to trade with this guy, I break the spell shield, and then so what? Like, I don't do enough damage to do anything to him. That's my thought process. I may have a fundamentally skewed memory, like of this happening, and I don't know. Maybe something was weird. Maybe Malzahar was ahead of me at the time. And that's why I didn't deal any damage to him.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not taking. I don't care about taking the trades. I'm telling you, in this matchup, I did not care. At this point, because in my mind, he's just gonna shove the wave in like this the entire time, and if I don't, the wave's gonna constantly be crashing into me, and I'm going to.
I mean, the thing is, you don't necessarily go for this one trade and expect to get a lot of damage off on him. The goal here is then for the next wave you can do another 20% of his health. Then the next wave you do 20%, and then the next wave you do 20%, and slowly he gets whittled out of lane because he's now low, and then you can force a dragon then you can force a roam, then you can get plates, then you can just force him to miss a wave, you can get a gank, right? It's not about, you're not playing for this wave, do I do enough damage to kill him? No, you're never going to, because as Viktor, you're never going to do enough damage to kill someone in one rotation unless you're really far ahead or late game, right? What you want to do is, I agree, you don't want to just E him here because then you lose a lot of pressure on this wave because he pushes it in and you do nothing to him. What you want to do is you want to play it so that way you can hit the wave and him with your E at the same time. You can do that from here. You know, you could also kill, I believe your E kills these voidlings in one hit. I could be wrong about that, but
I think they do.
Yeah, they do. So you use your E and you hit a bunch of the minions, but you could have procced, at the very least, procced his spell shield here. So that means for the next wave, you have a little more pressure, right?
Yeah.
And again, let's see it again. If you're going to let him do this, then you just E here, right? You just E to push the wave in, but you're not doing that either. There you go.
Yeah.
But
it's just a bit
you want to do it sooner, because if you did it immediately, you'd have 1 second left on your E here, right? Because if you did it right here, your E would already be back up right here, right?
What my worry was is, yeah, I wouldn't hit the front line twice.
Yeah.
Because if I don't hit the front line twice, then
yeah, it's fine.
It's just gonna feel worse.
Yeah.
Trying to CS them at least. Maybe that's wrong, or that's probably wrong. That's probably something wrong to think about.
But now again, you finally got a spell shield, but you didn't hit the wave in. You didn't hit the wave at all with your Q.
Yeah, which means he's gonna get a fuck ton of pressure on me.
Yeah.
And you can see that happening right now.
So you want to do it when you can hit him and most of the wave.
Okay.
Right. So it's okay. It's okay. And again, you're playing really far back here. Again, you go for that. Actually, the jungler's off the map, so it's okay to play a little back. But again, you went for your E, but you didn't hit him and the wave. You know, imagine if you
it's important. So it's important at around the 10-minute mark to start hitting both him and the wave.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
How many items he has?
I wouldn't think of that necessarily at the time, because generally,
I know.
even early game, if you can hit him and push the minion wave, assuming it's advantageous for you to get prio there, you know.
Yeah, I was saying, when I was saying the time, I was just saying like a general reference. You're right. If he gets a kill, then that changes the timing all up.
Also,
I shouldn't think about it in terms of timing.
Something, I don't know if I should even really bring this up, but right here, your Shaco pings that he wants to gank.
What were we going to accomplish there?
He wants it. One thing you can do, if you just stand here and let the minion wave come to you, it's going to freeze. He might see that and be like, oh shit, he's going to try to freeze. Let me stop him from doing that. Shaco comes and kills him.
Okay, I see.
You're baiting. Because you don't actually want to freeze this. You just want to let it crash under your tower. You don't want to take the damage. Because you don't have any crafting potions left. But he doesn't necessarily know that, right?
I guess you're right, yeah.
You know, it's a bit of a mind game, but now you have no... You know, now you can get a good prio. You just immediately push the wave. And now you don't have to use your TP. And now what you can do is you just walk back and immediately reset.
Probably, maybe. Let's find out.
But you didn't do it immediately.
Yeah, I didn't need to E those.
He E's those minions, but he clears his wave immediately no matter what. What you need to do is you just immediately need to walk back here and just reset.
Okay.
As fast as possible, otherwise you're going to miss some of this next wave. Because notice how you reset immediately? You're either going to TP back, or you miss part of this next wave. You had to TP back because you didn't reset fast enough. And on top of that, he has prio to go get vision.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, look, fighting.
Yeah, you probably die.
Oh, me? No, I live this way.
Or your team dies, though.
Oh, yeah, no, they got
So, but imagine if you were here sooner. Or if you ended up TPing, you TP'd sooner because you reset sooner, right? So you'd still be here faster. Right? Maybe you could have made a difference because you didn't even ult. It looks like they're pretty low. Yeah. You could have ulted there and killed them.
Yeah, I backed up because I saw the Malzahar coming.
Yeah.
And I knew if things could have gotten a little too dicey.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably gonna need help. You're now in a bad spot because this is what he wants.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, no, definitely.
He just what happens here is you feel bad. This lane feels bad and you're uncomfortable because he can push you in. And then nothing you can do. What you want to do is push him in.
And I accomplished that by taking trades over the course of...
Yeah, slowly poke him out of lane and
Yeah.
take good trades.
I don't know why I eat that.
Yeah, again, if you could have gotten it with autoing, and you could have,
no,
if you're not going to, if you think you're still going to miss, it happens, use your Q. It uses less mana, right?
Yeah.
Please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.